Jackson. I'm gonna mess around.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson Town.
Well, go on down to Jackson. Go ahead and wreck your health. Go play your hand. You
Lee Hazlewood was a songwriter, singer, and producer, and was known for singing country and pop. He started in the 50s and is best known for working with Duane Eddy in the late 50s as a songwriter and with Nancy Sinatra in the 60s and early 70s. He crafted her image and wrote songs for her and had some duets with her. He died in 2007 after releasing his last album called Cake or Death, which included a duet with his granddaughter. Nancy Sinatra is the daughter of Nancy Sinatra, who was the wife of Frank Sinatra and of Frank Sinatra, as in she's the daughter of Frank Sinatra and Nancy. She had a singing career that started in the 50s but took off more in the 60s and is still going more or less. So that her career took off quite a lot because of her collaboration with the songwriter and producer Lee Hazlewood, who wrote her best-known song, These Boots Are Made for Walking. Who's been more or less continuously active, but most of her success was in the 60s and early 70s. And she also caused controversy when she posed for Playboy magazine in 1995 at the age of 54. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is an album of duets, fairly obviously by Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazlewood. It's not my first time hearing it. In fact, I have reviewed this before because before I did video reviews, I had a blog. I was using a different list, and there is some overlap between the two lists that I use. I am, however, occasionally I have this situation and I go, that was a great review, and I basically just read it out. This time, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give it more depth this time. The score I'm giving is very slightly different. It's gone up a little bit from my previous review. So, on paper, I should dislike this. So, first of all, it's country. Secondly, it's kind of kitsy, schmaltzy stuff. It's croony orchestral-backed parent music. I believe the kind of technical term is baroque pop. Somehow, I don't quite hate it. Actually, I mildly like it. I feel like it's as authentic as country as Elaine Page Sings Queen is authentic as rock. But it's okay because it's not pretending to be authentic in any particular way. It's just pretending to be, well, not pretending to be, it's just being entertainment. So I'm going to refer to other people who are of this kind of style of thing, baroque pop particularly, Tom Jones and Neil Diamond. I'm going to reference. It feels like Vegas stuff, very much. And as I said, meant to be entertainment. So Nancy's voice sounds a bit like Petula Clark, I would say, and which is to say she's got a strong, clear voice. I'm going to reference here to Olivia Newton-John. The voices aren't that similar, but there's a certain kind of sweetness to the voice. Now, it's not as sweet as Olivia Newton-John's voice, and it's slightly lower in register. Now, apparently, Lee Hazlewood deliberately brought her into singing lower to make her feel a bit more gritty and earthy. Whether gritty and earthy, whether that's worked, I don't know. But this is what she sounds like. Lee sounds like Lee Marvin, or even more like Johnny Cash. He's got this deep, gravelly voice. And so between these two voices, the interplay is interesting. Actually, it works. But I think that the thing that's best here is actually that kind of personal interplay when they're being light-hearted and being a little bit silly, which they do on a couple of tracks. Obviously, it's a studied thing and it's done on purpose. So when they're doing the kind of slightly the more comic songs, it's still cheesy, but it's a bit less saccharine than some of the rest of the album. So highlights for me on this album are basically mostly the more light-hearted tracks. So Jackson, which is a country classic. Now, you've probably got the idea that generally I don't like country. I do like occasional bits of country, and really, I was about to say I really like the song Jackson. I've Been Down So Long It Looks Like Up to Me is a track that I really enjoyed as well, last track on the album. The Greenwich Village Folk Song Salesman is a very silly song, and I really enjoyed that. And oddly for me, the first track, You've Lost That Loving Feeling, which is a really kind of overblown schmaltzy thing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed their version. About half the songs here are written by Lee, but only one in that list of four that I've given you is his, which is the I've Been Down So Long It Looks Like Up to Me. Maybe, sorry, when they're less comic, so I'm less taken with it, but they're still quite light-hearted. It's got this kind of feeling of lightness and airiness, and maybe that is the saving grace of this album as a whole, is that it doesn't have is whatever the opposite of the word gravitas is. It doesn't have that. It's not intending to be. It's got a kind of feeling of pastoral airiness to it, a bit like velvet with honey poured on it. I'm going to say. Some songs, though, to me are a bit dull, although some people will find them tender as a better adjective. Some Velvet Morning is a bit weird because there's a duet and they're singing different time signatures, even as they're going backwards and forwards quite quickly, which has got an odd musicality to it. So, kind of overall, I feel like it's got a bit of the kind of slight edge of hippie to it, but otherwise is definitely kind of this very easy listening, radio friendly, of the time stuff. So it's not all to my taste. I probably wouldn't seek it out, but it's not bad. And there are a few songs that I really quite like. So that's what I think of this album. What do you think of this album? Please do share that by leaving a comment in the comments box. I love reading people's comments. The next review on this channel is going to be of the album Celebrity Skin by the band Hole. But that's it from me for now.
Some velvet